Yesterday, Juan Cruz Jacopini's dream of winning the Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge quickly turned into a nightmare in the dunes around Mazera.
I was feeling really good. We were leading the stage. Then we have a small crash. We roll on to the front. Saud put me on the four wheels again. We lose there maybe 20 minutes. It was nothing. We take the windscreen and we continue. After that, we go down in a dune and we met Pro Cop there. We have a big impact. Races are like this. I was doing my best. I was trying to be on the podium. But okay, it's not this time. Maybe next time I will have another opportunity for sure this year.
Well, the Argentine couldn't bounce back today because he was disqualified for receiving prohibited assistance yesterday. So it's now a four-horse race for glory between Gelan Shisher, Yazid Al-Rajhi, Nasser al-Attiyah and Seth Quintero, the first man through the gate this morning. The American later explained that it wasn't good to be opening today because it was seriously tough out there. His rivals were soon hot on his heels, starting with Yazid Al-Rajhi. The top ultimate drivers set off at 3-minute intervals, so it's rare to see a big pack up at the front. But this was going to be a special kind of day, with al-Attiyah and Shisher also set to crash the party. Shisher talks us through it.
Nasser came to me. He passed me, so I said, bon, okay, allez, wake up. So I wake up, we play with Nasser, so finally we come on Yazid. Yazid come my back, and we catch a set, Quintero, again on his back. It was really fun, the car was like this, it was good.
Just look at this, the top 4 crews in the Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge going hell for leather over the dunes. Quintero, just going out of shot here, held them off for as long as he could, but he was set to lose over 10 minutes. Even if he cut a frustrated figure back at the bivouac, the 21-year-old had to admit it was a special experience.
Yeah, it was quite the wild fight, I would say. All 4 of us had to have been door to door at some point. I know those guys were battling for at least 100 kilometers before they got to me. And then they got to me, and I wasn't going to back down either. So we were having a lot of fun. Everyone came in with a smile and said how much fun it was. So, yeah, I mean, we're getting to our business today for sure.
Al-Attiyah, Shisher and Al-Rajhi finally catching Quintero in the last part of the stage, but they didn't all stay together until the finish. In fact, one of these contenders would end up bowing out. But before we get to that, let's just enjoy these amazing shots. Shisher struck out on a different cap to al-Attiyah towards the end, convinced that he had the right line. But a nasty drop spelled the end of his rally when it became clear that his co-driver, Alex Vinok, couldn't go on.
We jumped 1 dunes and we land really, really hard on the front, and Alex was complaining a lot, which he never do, you know. Alex is a really strong man. So this time for him screaming for 10 minutes, I was really afraid he was really unsure. So that's why I called the helicopter and said, guys, come to pick up him, because it was not safe to put him back in the cars.
Let's step away from the title fight for a moment to check in with Marcos Baumgart. The Brazilians described this rally as the University of Dunes, and he has certainly been learning fast on his debut. He was 5th today for the 2nd stage running. There's been plenty of adversity for Baumgart this week. A big crash for his brother Christian, motion sickness and crashes of his own, but he's looking to finish on a high note. The same could be said of Martin Prokop. After a broken prop shaft on stage 2 and the crash with Jacopini yesterday, the Czech finally had a trouble-free day. He says they've really improved the car since the Dakar and feels they could have been challenging for a podium even with the top factory teams. Martin will now switch his focus to the WRC and developing the car back home. We'll see him again at the Rallye du Maroc. And so back to our top 3 overall to see how things shook out today. Al-Rajhi got stuck 3k from the finish after braking hard to avoid a static Quintero and dropped a few minutes. But he has closed the gap on his American rival and says he'll be pushing a little bit harder tomorrow in the 5th and final stage. There are over 200 kilometres to cover tomorrow, so it certainly won't be a procession back to Abu Dhabi. Quintero now finds himself sandwiched between al-Attiyah and al-Rajhi in the overall reckoning, so he will have to decide whether to defend his second place or risk it all for glory. He trails the Qatari by over 9 minutes. He may have a new car and a new co-driver, but this was a vintage performance from the Desert Fox, al-Attiyah. He surged from the back to catch all of his rivals and win the stage by over 8 minutes. It was an absolute massacre.
We have good road position, you know, and we push and we finish first and we make a really good time for overhaul. And yeah, tomorrow just we need to be really concentration, you know. If we can win, will be good for the championship. Yeah, it's a good day, alhamdulillah.
Al-Attiyah taking it by exactly 8 minutes 21 from al-Rajhi, followed by Prokop, Quintero and Baumgart. Saud Variawa came 6th and he's on course for an impressive 4th place overall, while Nasser is on course to land his 4th title at the Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge.